What's good, fam? Let me see something. Let me see something right quick. So I'm not back feeding. See how this goes this time. Cool. What's going on, everybody?
What's good, Cory?
What's up, Dale, bro? How was your trading day today?
Who?
Yours.
Don't do that, Cory. I
What
feel
you
like
mean?
you just insulted me. Nah, I ain't getting no trade, brother. I ain't getting no, since that last little episode. I just been just been rough. I just been trying to keep getting on, trying to make it make sense. You know, last week when Kim gave out the trades on Sunday, I took a trade, and again I didn't know how to set the sound on my trading view, so you know, it just kept making noises. I mean, it kept popping up on the screen, but I would never hear it to get into the trade. And then when I got to work, you know, I work for an aviation company. We really not going to be on our phones, but
Gotcha.
so we can do it at that point. So
Gotcha.
One day. And your screen is white. It says share screen, join audio, invite others.
It does. Let me see.
Maybe it's just me. It says live on YouTube.
Yeah, I see a white screen too. There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm streaming it to YouTube, so that way I don't have to. If y'all want to save this, if y'all want to record it, y'all can just go to the YouTube and watch the recording. And that way.
There were 3 different charts.
And also so I can save the space on my computer instead of downloading this stuff to my computer. Just save it on YouTube. But having 3 charts, that's because if you go to layouts right here, you can add these on. And this is on NAS, US 30, and SPX.
I'm all out my price range, man.
Nah, man. Nah, these are you could do that with the pro account. With the pro account. So today, y'all know I only really trade indices, so I didn't really look at anything else today. But today was pretty boring. Today was pretty boring. Unless you jumped in that late trade in the afternoon that I heard got called out on Gold Cup, but I didn't, I haven't been paying attention to the app on Gold Cup because it's just known just to have too many problems, but supposedly they got it fixed. Supposedly the Gold Cup app is fixed. So if it is fixed, I'm gonna recommend it to you guys. I'm gonna test it out myself this week and just see how that worked out. Let me go ahead and mute somebody right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of test it out just to because I think it's good. I don't know. It looks like it's doing some new stuff. So I don't know. I'm gonna see how it works. Let me send this out to somebody real quick.
Is the harmonic scanner good to use, Cory?
Oh yeah, yeah. And a good session to get on is Brian does a harmonic session at 10 p.m. Velez.
Man, he locked the door too much for me. He be throwing me. I don't understand that. People paying their money, he locking rooms, but hey, I don't know. I'm on the back of the bus.
Well, he does that because he want to make sure people get on there, and get on there, get on time, and all that good stuff. But
I hear you, bro. Listen, I understand. I get it. It makes sense, but
Sorry, I agree with him because I was in there at 7:10 and I told him I got locked out. He would not open it back up.
Yeah, like, man, people paying their money. I understand everybody can't get up at 7 on the. I mean, I don't know. Let me be quiet because I already don't know what I'm doing. Before they block me out of the system.
I'll talk to them.
Yeah, like I mean, if you done went through a certain part and the person missed it, then hey, that's on them at that point. But to lock it out, people waiting and he's like, nah, it's no waiting room. I locked it up. Guys got to be on time.
Yeah, I'll talk to him.
But hey, let me be quiet.
He does it
delete that part out what I just said because it's gonna be on YouTube.
It's still but it's unlisted, so only people who get this link can watch it. So it don't go out to the public.
My apologies for being late. I had a family emergency.
You all right, bro?
Yeah, I'm good now. We're good.
Okay, I could came over to your house, Calvin. It's there if you need me, bro.
We gonna lock Calvin out next time?
No, we can't lock Calvin out because this is a Zoom meeting for everybody. Like,
oh, hey Cory, you locking out the team meetings too, bro?
Nah, man.
See,
I'm messing with the deal.
No, this is recorded, Cory. This is gonna be on YouTube. I don't want nobody. Calvin, I'm gonna see your text. It's a non-disclosure. Please. I just said they're knocking out the meetings early in the morning. People got to get their kids up for Zoom meetings as well. But I don't know what I'm saying.
I mean, I heard a piece of what you're saying, and I agree. I agree. You know what I'm saying? The reason why, like this is, I agree because I have to be to work at 7 o'clock in the morning. So, sometimes I'm logged on. If I'm listening, I may get kicked out or I might be doing something real quick. So it's kind of like, it is kind of a headache sometimes. Oh, the internet, something happened. Oh, I got to get back in. I got to get back in. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just think that those calls should be a little bit more relaxed. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the time thing. Like if you just messing around BSing, then yeah, I get it. But and you respect people's time, but you know, that time of the day, pre-New York session, like I got a 9 to 5, so a 7 to 5 actually. So, you know, and sometimes when I finish getting dressed, you know, that's when I get on the road, I put it on my phone and still be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a pain sometimes trying to get in because now if I'm sitting there in the chat writing, you know, it might not be seen.
Yeah. And I like a lot of times I don't pay attention to the chat.
Hello?
A lot of times I'm usually not even paying attention to the chat just because I'm trying to watch the charts and stuff like that. So
And that happened to me this morning because I was trying to get myself together, and not only that, I had just signed up Wesley. So I'm in the middle of that, trying to do that and look, you know, get the Nuggets at the same time. And then boom, EA was called out. Next thing you know, it went for like 30 quick pips, and I'm like, what just happened? And I missed it because
yeah,
I got locked off and then had to get back on. But, you know, it's all good.
yeah.
Tell Brian stop being the principal, man.
All right. Yeah,
I'm on a call. I'm on a call. You're coming here and screaming. Give me that. Why do you have that? Because he's smacking you with it. Like, you smacked me with it. Mute your mic. You know what? Don't bother me when I'm in the bathroom. Don't bother.
Oh. So as usual, like to open everything up with questions before we talk about anything. What's up, Fib? What's up, Fib? What's going on, bro? What's going on, everybody? What's up, Topaz?
Hey, Cory, how y'all doing, man? Y'all the best, man. I don't care what nobody said about y'all.
Man, I done heard some bad stuff, man.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right. It ain't true. If it's bad, it ain't true.
Heard some bad stuff, man.
It usually start off that way, then it turn out good, man.
Yeah, man. Everything that I heard ain't true though, man. So I ain't worried about it. What y'all got? How did y'all do today, man? How did y'all finish up today? Anybody get in that Gold Cup trade that they said got called out on Gold Cup?
No, I didn't.
Let me show y'all something right quick. For those of you guys that have Gold Cup and don't have Gold Cup, one of our teammates called me pretty PO'd because he missed that trade on Gold Cup, and he, you know, a little frustrated with the whole app in general. And can I say I don't blame him, because I honestly be forgetting I even have the app or that you get trades called out. I be honestly forgetting that, to be totally honest. So let me see something right quick. See if I can.
It is a requirement that we have Gold Cup, because I don't think I have it.
It, you know, it's recommended that you get it, especially for those live sessions that hold on, y'all got my do-rag all on and stuff. Microphone is going on here. Okay, so you know, for those live sessions, and to get the call outs for after hours when nobody's, you know, on live sessions. So basically getting the Gold Cup app gives you the access that, so that you won't miss those calls that get called out, even though, you know, we had that happen today, right? And I don't know if you guys have seen the updated version of it, but this is the updated version. GC, it's in the App Store. And right now, all I have is Gold Rush and US 30. I don't have Teacup or Price Trap, right? So for me, I can only see what's called out in Gold Cup. No trades available. We already see that. US 30. This was that buy that got called out earlier today. And we can look at it. It was a buy. Kim called it out. US 30. Time frame 15-minute. Entry price. Stop loss.
Oh, I got it.
Stop loss, take profits, and apparently this doesn't, I guess they haven't updated it, but it's still showing as waiting, and maybe there's a screenshot that goes here. I don't know. But the difference that I've seen so far, like I'll still have to go back and review this, but the difference I've seen so far is now you can do your notification preferences. So if actually I think Teacup does come with this. Yeah, it does. So if I want to do my notification preferences to know who's calling out the trade, who I'm getting the trade from, I can get email notifications or phone notifications, right? And for me right now, all I have selected is Kim's calls, right? Maybe I'll put Luke's Gold Cup call, Gold Rush calls too, right? So I'll only get calls from those two. I don't want Price Trap and I don't have Price Trap, so I can't even select it. So if I try to select it like I'm doing right now on my phone, I'm not able to, right? And then Luke, if he ever calls out a US 30 call, I could get it if he called that out too, and I'll only get that as well. So I'm gonna try it out, just to see, and it's basically a username from I Am Academy. Don't be stealing my password, right? Oh, cool. It doesn't even show it. Okay, so it's basically your login, and like you said, there's no trades that's shown, no notes or anything like this, and then you can go back under the search and see the rest of the trades that were called out, right? So I guess Lano called out a trade over here on the 17th. Kim called out one on the 16th that was on the app, and see all the previous ones, right? Select master. Let's look at Kim, see what she got. So these are the ones that were called out by Luke. Any trades that he called out. And then we can take that off of there. Go back to home. And just go by symbol. Let's look for SPX. All these Kim called out over here. And so, it is supposedly, I think it's ready for Android. I think so. But you can see it's supposed it is. I've been told it's ready for iPhone, and I'm gonna make sure I test it out, see how it works out, how good the notifications are. But if you have it, I know the frustration, I know the trouble that they've had with that app. Like, it's been really garbage, and that's not even like that's really not even that's being nice about it. to say that it's just garbage because, you know, it's been a bad app, you know, as far as getting the notifications. But, you know, that's the other thing you get with buying that package is you get the go live sessions. So the go live sessions kind of take away and keep you from even thinking about the app itself. But if you don't get a call on it or you miss the call, like what happened today, then you run into that kind of situation. So, you know, sorry about that on that. If you guys missed it, I did too. So don't feel bad. Another thing, I dropped it already in the chat, but just reiterating, today, for tomorrow, Powell speaking again, right?
Right.
Powell is speaking again on tomorrow at 10 a.m. And what I hate about this is this happens right before the market open. Like you can't even really get a good feel for the market, right? Because not only do you have him speaking, then you got the FOMC member Maester speak. I don't know what that is, but that's has to do with similar. So this, even though it's listed as a yellow folder, because these two guys are in cahoots together, not cahoots, but whatever you want to call it, this is going to make the market just really choppy. So probably I'm thinking I might try to stay up for London session and take trades during London session today, because right now that's going to be for tomorrow. Then we scroll down, unemployment claims coming out. That would be great, but look what's happening at 10 o'clock. Fed Chair Powell testifies again. Then you got the treasurer, Steve Munchkin. He's speaking at 10. All this is happening right as the market's about to get ready to open. So we probably gonna have some moves, but it's just gonna be, we won't know what the direction of it is. So really, New York session is a wash this week. Up and even up until Friday, we have another speaker that's going to speak. It's a yellow folder, but based off of all this news, he's a part of FOMC. So even that might cause some spikes. So for me, you know, I'm telling you now, I'm gonna get on New York session, but it might be just training because I'm not trading with all of this stuff going on. I'll probably be just, you know, helping out, you know, maybe even trading gold under these circumstances might be a bad idea as well. So, you know, this is just me personally. I don't like to get involved when it's stuff like this going on. And like some of my worst trades have happened when these two dudes have been speaking. So I learned my lesson the hard way. You know, I hadn't taken the L in a while, and you know, I still remember this like it was yesterday when Luke called out a trade, and I took the trade, and I used, you know, some normal size leverage, and I lost 5K in like 2 seconds, you know, and sat in it thinking like, oh man, it's gonna turn around, it's gonna turn around. Lost it, added on to that 5K, and I don't want to do that again. So so let's learn from me by not taking that. Yeah, you remember that day, right? You and I were on the session together. Like we told the dude that it was gonna start at 9 at 10. He was like, no, it starts at 9, and no, it started at then. And it, you know, that's a whole another story for another day. But you know, I shouldn't have even taken that trade because I knew what time it was, right? But anyway, so today y'all saw how choppy it was, right? We finally did get a move, this little bounce up, I was in this little buy off of this level, but it wicked me out and I got stopped out in profit on US 30. It finally pushed down to where I thought it was going to drop down and then made the move up. But, you know, it by that time I had already walked away from the chart. So this is just a waste right here. But the good thing is what we got setting up today for possibly London session is let me pull this over here. Let me pull you over here. And let me pull you over here.
When you say you may stay up tonight, what time is that you staying up?
3. 3, but I'll probably trade in London session usually start at 2 to like 4, 2 to 4, 2 to 5.
Central time? I mean, that's your central time?
Eastern.
I mean, Eastern, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So this is US 30, right? So we broke this little high right here. And we would just reject it off of this level, right? So we might see price kind of fluctuate in between here. And if it does do that, I want to see, if it does do that, I want to see it push back down to right around this area right here and bounce off of that to push back up, right? But if it doesn't, I could trade the break of this high at 27.353 and trade it to 27.457, which is about 100 pips, right? If that doesn't happen, right, the break above this little high right here, I actually want to see it drop here, pull back and reject, then trade to that level, right? That'll give me a better entry as far as price goes. So somewhere in between this area right here up to here, which if we trade back up to this level right here, will be basically at the break of a key area right here around this area, right? You can see it on the 1 hour. From here to here. But this, this coming back up to this area, we might get rejection starting around there. So trade the break, but trade it cautiously, knowing that this may reject at this area because now we're back at previous structure, right around this orange box level right here. So, and then the stop loss on that, put it about right here, about 100 pips stop loss on this. So basically a 2-to-1 setup right here where be looking for price to push down from here, reject, and then buy up from here. And then reject possibly. If it doesn't do that, if it doesn't push down and we just see it break through, you can trade the break of this and you can just use this area as your level to break and trade it to here. And then the stop loss would basically be 1-to-1, where you would trade this as your stop loss. This would be your entry, and then this would be your take profit. That would be the only difference. And it basically looks the same way for SPX. just a little different. It's a slight little tweak in it, right? Here's that same level of structure. We're already here. We're already at the level of structure right now. And we're already seeing that it reject already, but it still might push up, grab this liquidity, and then drop, right? So the only difference the difference is the way we'll take this one is, let me see something. Let me just look at something really quick. I think I showed y'all how I'm marking up now. Like I'm not even using all those levels and stuff no more, but I'm getting the same type of results. So, and I think I showed you guys before, but I'm looking for a little different things now, you know, because I can still trade break and retest using this style and format, but I'm paying a little more attention to stuff a different way. I'm just interpreting things a different way. But here we may get price like it is right now, same concept, push down to grab this liquidity that it left behind down to this area, right? And if it does do that, we could have a buy off of this level. It may not want to go back under 3,300. So this may be where it bounced off of, but at worst case, I don't think that if it drops, it's gonna leave this liquidity behind off of these 1 hour bank moves right here. So here's where your optimal would be right here. And you buy from here. If it doesn't do that, you can trade the break. Trade the break of this little high right around here. Where you'll trade the primary target will be to buy from here to here, where your stop loss will be underneath here. That's 125 pips. And your target would be right around here. And that'll give you 269 pips if you take this, if this plays out completely. If it doesn't, you can do the same thing. Use this as your entry. If it break above this, use the entry here as the stop loss. And then you'll trade this as a 1-to-1, where this will be your target still. This would be your entry. And then this would be your your stop loss right here. And just to give it a little more room, hang on. You can trade the break of it from here, right here. And I take that back. If you use this as your entry, use this as your stop loss right here. And I'll put this as another color. this purple line will be your stop loss if you trade it from up here. So that's basically a trade. And then this should probably pan out, like this should start panning out during London and right before London, right? We will probably see this, like we already see it starts to drop. I kind of want to see it push down and like play in between this area right here a little bit and then push up. Same thing on US 30. I want to see it play around in this little area. But NAS is doing the same thing. NAS still got to come down to these highs right here. These two pivot points that it left behind. Drop down, pick that up, and then push up if it's going to go up. If it's just going to drop, if it just decides it want to drop, then we'll want to probably see that it push up and then drop first. So just waiting on one of these situations to play out on this trade. JER 30 still, for me, still consolidating in this range right here, right? US JER 30, like I haven't traded this before, but like if I was trading this, I wouldn't even be touching this right now because it's basically sitting between this high and this low and just going sideways. We had this bullish candle right here. And let me see something. Honestly, it actually looked the best out of all of the indices, right? Because if we had wanted to, let me do something real quick. Yeah, honestly, if we had wanted to, we really could have got in, you know, a decent trade around this time frame, which I think we would have been in the market still. New York was here. It dropped. This would have been a perfect time to get in a trade for this move. But like I said, I don't really trade it. I never really traded it yet. I still got to do some more research on this. But for those of you guys that do mess around with it, I trade the breakout of this high right here that is near right now. And if you miss that, you should get a retest on it. So I'll drop all three of these in the chat right quick. Copy. This one is on US 30. This one is your 30. Let me just slide this up. Breakout will be here. To be here. The goal will be to trade to this area. And then if you want to break this up into TPs, you can split it into one TP here. And that'll be JER 30. And then SPX. And then, you know, like I said, I don't trade NAS 100, but NAS 100 is kind of leading the direction still. But as you can see, it's already pushing down, right? We got our little swing up right now. And that's in response to this little swing up right here. Same thing right here, this little swing up. These moves right here, this move and this move are the same. It's just not as clean as SPX is to NAS 100 right now. Right now, SPX is moving a little more closer to what NAS 100 is doing, because you can even see on the squeeze tool, right? Made the low right here, made the push to imbalance right here, and then the push all the way up. And then we got this little pullback right here. Same thing up here. If we looking at NAS 100, got the push down, that created the push up, had that swing right here once it crossed over to 0, and then it pushed up and made that peak. We got the same, pretty much exact same move on this pair over here. Same move, right? But US 30, you can see it made most of that move. If we look at it, made most of that move where we got the low right here, we got the cross and made to make this, and we got the push up, but we didn't have this deep retracement yet like we had over here. We haven't had that yet. So it's gonna happen on US 30. It just hasn't happened yet. So with that, and like usually the moves all happen on the pairs. It's just one of them might be delayed, right? So that kind of lines up with SPX retracing back down to where it broke out from, this 3,300 area. And then this lines up, if once US 30 gives this pullback, that lines up with this overshooting these highs and going and picking up this area right here that it broke from right here, or right around here. So we'll see how that plays out. And if it doesn't happen in London, you know, this is going to be probably something crazy going on during New York session that I really don't want to get involved in. And if I do, it's just going to be quick in and out. So I'll even send this chart too, you know, just so you can see them side by side as a reference.
Cory, what does those bank moves that you have written on that mean?
So I'll show you. So when you I'll go to this blank chart where I'm trying to look for my entries now. I'm looking at break and retest, but I'm more so looking at when the actual move starts and finishes, right? And a lot of times you can get a signal when these moves start and end by the candles and by where you are in the market, right? So you use impulse candles to find these moves, right? So when you see a candle that break a zone like this one, or when you see a candle that rejects the zone, and then you see an impulse candle in the opposite direction, those are candles that I'm paying more attention to, right? Because we can go back and I can show you this gives you an opportunity to get in these moves with minimal drawdown, right? So after a move like this, right, and this is without being involved in like news, right? So I'm not talking about taking this trade and news is going on and trying to get in right here, but taking the trade under normal circumstances, when you see like, hey, like maybe right here, the market pushed down and then you got a clear impulse in the opposite direction once we got to this level, right? So when you see those kind of candles, right, if you take your fib retracement tool, right, and you draw from the top, from the high of that candle to the low of that candle, if you're looking for a buy, and put a line at the 50% of that candle, right? Typically what'll happen is you will be able to get a wick entry off of the next candle, like you would have gotten right here off of this one. If you miss this candle, if you miss the candle at the low, right, there'll typically be another impulse candle which breaks, which is created. Like if we look at a lower time frame, this little area right here is an area of structure, right? So this is on the 1 hour, right? If we look at this same candle on the 15 minute, let me go back and get that candle. So this area right here, right? And we look at this candle on the 15 minute. Where'd it go? Oh, right here. So if we see this happen on the 1 hour, right? We would have got our entry from the lowest point off of this candle. We could have got it off of this 15-minute candle or that 1 hour candle, right? But let's say we just missed that, right? We'll see like this little area of structure right here got broken, right? So this little area, this created like a high right here, a low right here, and then a little pullback right here, right? But this impulse candle right here, or this impulse candle right here, gave you the signal that is banks trading right here, right? So do the same thing over again. You measure this candle right here. Get your 50%. You would have a potential entry right here. It just missed it right here on this candle. But then you got this candle right here that actually broke this little high right here. Measure that out. And this would have gave you your entry right here, right? And this entry that you would have been able to get, right, would have only given you 14 pips of drawdown, 16 pips of drawdown. And if you enter it the right way, which is you let the candle come down past this level, right? And what I'll do is as soon as I see the price come down below this level, by like 10 pips, or sometimes I'll market execution in, but the best way to do it is you let the price go ahead and drop below this, right? You set your buy stop right here above that, right? You set your buy stop like right here or something like that. So that once it drops below that, if it does happen to play out the way that you want it to, it'll just, once it starts to get ready to shoot back up, it'll automatically pull you into this move, right? And you'll get pulled in. This move right here is a bank move right here. This is where this huge wick is a sign that this was a bank move, right? So you will get pulled into the trade when the banks enter the trade, right? And here's another example of a candle. If you miss this, right? If you miss this entry, you got another example. This made a high over here in this area, right? This candle right here broke that, right? Drop your fibs on there, measure it right here. Here's your 50% right here. You see price push all the way up and you realize price coming back down. If you wanted to take this trade, you let the price come back down, drop below this area, set your stop, buy stop right here, and get pulled into this trade, right? With minimal drawdown, right? Instead of having like 100 pip drawdown, where in this case, if you get this trade, your initial stop loss, so for these last two setups, right? If I was to get in this trade, right? Here's that first entry. This would have been my initial stop loss right here, right? I could put my stop loss below here. My target would have been back up here, right? So I'm looking at a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio, meaning I would have been in heavy profit, right? Versus taking a trade. I can stand a trade that only lose, that if I lose a trade that's 43 pips on an indice, that's nothing, right? That ain't nothing, right? Because sometimes those stop losses are like 100 pips or 200 pips, right? But if I can get into this trade and knowing that I only got to deal with 100, I only got to deal with like a 40 pips stop loss, that gives me time to adjust, even if it does goes against me, you know, go in the opposite direction, right? And then I really never got to the 43 pips. At most, I would have been down was 20 pips, right? For a trade that went 139 pips at what it would have been my target, but I could have been riding this up and just trailing it up, right? Because it never came anywhere near where my stop loss was, right? That actually went for 200 pips before it would have probably taken me out back around here, you know? And if I had a got in down here off the original entry, the entry down here, I'm looking at the same thing. My stop loss, 53 pips. My take profit initially probably would have been right here or here, but there's a potential that I could have rolled this all the way up here for like the same amount of pips, you know, 300 pips almost.
Goodness.
So, and it worked the same way in the opposite direction, right? Looking to sell this, right? We at the top. This would have been our first sign that this pushes down right here. This is our first impulse candle to the downside, right? And we already know that at this area, we're near highs right here already, right? So knowing that we got this impulse candle, you take the same approach, you measure this to the downside. Draw your 50% candle right here. You could have got an entry right here. And if you missed this one right here, look what it gave you. It even gave you the entry over here. You might have been in some drawdown over here, or even if you wasn't in drawdown, right? If you took this and it dropped down, you would have only been down over here at most, because you would have saw this candle, set your sell stop below this level right here. You would have been down at most 21 points, right? And this move went based off of this candle right here. This move dropped
Goodness gracious.
almost 300 points.
Thank goodness.
So you would have had a trade that was, at worst case, 28 pips in drawdown. You looking at a 10-to-1, almost 11-to-1 risk reward ratio. Can I consider any impulse candle, any pair, or only indices? This worked for all pairs. And it's not any impulse candle. It has to be near a high or a low or a zone, you know, or a rejection area, right? So
Thank you.
if we look at GU, right? GU, this on the 4-hour. This on the 4-hour. This is marked up under normal circumstances. So let me clear everything out. And we can find it for you, right? So near this area. We in the downtrend, right? So first thing, we should probably be looking for sales, right? Here is the impulse candle right here. This is one of the impulse candles right here. We could even use this as an impulse candle and this as an impulse candle, right? So on the 4-hour, we got this one. We got this one. Let's use this one right here. This one right here. And then you can use this one, the one right next to it. Which sometimes it will happen like this. You'll have two impulse candles right next to each other. So these are the most recent on the 4-hour right here, right? Then on the 1-hour,
I was rolling out Sheridan. That shit is fast as hell. Yeah.
Like, you know how those cars be sounding like going faster than 101?
No, that car moves.
oh,
shit.
Okay, so these are from the 4-hour in this purple, right? On the 1-hour, right? So this is a little area of structure right here, right? So this candle broke that structure. So this is a candle we need to consider right here. 50% is right here. You see this candle right next to it? You see how it pretty much came up, wicked this, and then dropped? That's reacting to this, right?
Okay.
This candle right here, we already got it on the 4 hour, and we can still get another, get the 1 hour is this one that rejected right here, 50%. This little one right here broke this little minor structure. So we can use both of these right here.
Okay.
And you see where this one rejected from. Off of this one little candle right here, it came back up, it dropped, came back up, rejected off of this, and then dropped. If you had a missed it, you had an opportunity. If you miss this, you'll likely get another opportunity if it swing up. It's probably gonna blow through these, right? It's probably gonna blow through these because these are recent, right? But once you get to these higher time frame ones, which I didn't mark it off, but once you get to the higher time frames, of course, is more valid, right? The validity is higher because it's coming from the higher time frame. So then drop down to the 30-minute, rinse and repeat. Everything looks pretty good. I don't see any I gotta add, but if I wanted to take this little buy, I could have got into this buy for this candle right here. And my 50% would have came right, basically around right here. Basically same area right here as this, right? And I would have been able to get in right here to buy it up to here, right? And even taking this entry right here, this candle right here broke these highs right here, right? And it even left you an entry if you wanted to try to continue to take the buy, even though it reversed on you, right? Right here, 50%. Right here, you would have got your entry off of this wick right here. It would have reversed, it would have went opposite on you, but it did give you the entry right here. So this would have been a good example of right entry, wrong trade, because you already know you're trading in against the trend right here. So if you didn't get in right here, you wouldn't have got a good entry up here. You would have been slightly in profit, then it would have reversed on you. But even if you did take this trade and you lost it, right? Your target would have been up here. Your stop loss is right here. You still would have had 2-to-1 right here. And your stop loss only had to be 23 pips versus trading a break, right? And in this case, if you lose this trade now, your stop loss got to be underneath here. That's 50 pip stop loss, but it's same area. And you looking at 1.5-to-1 versus a 2-to-1. And that ain't even 1.5 yet. That's 1.4 versus a clear 2-to-1 trade when this is your stop loss now underneath here. And this would have been your entry right here.
So Calvin, you're taking that, what do you call it, Fibonacci?
Yes,
You're
ma'am.
putting that at the top of the wick and measuring it and taking it down to the low, from the high to the low, or low
Yeah.
to the high.
Yep.
That's what you're
So
doing, right?
this is an example of an impulse candle right here. This one right here. So this candle rejected the low. This impulse move pushed up, right? When I see those candles starting at the wick, I measure the low to the high of the wick.
Okay.
And that's where that 50% comes in at, right?
Okay.
And basically what's happening is the bank in this case wants to drop the market, right? So oh, Miss Marvel calling me. So I'm gonna have to call. Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, so when you're looking for these candles, right? They should be near extreme lows or extreme highs, right? And another example of one would be, let's see what we got on the 30-minute right here. This would be your little structure high right here. You got a low basically right here. This candle right here broke the zone, right? This the candle that broke the zone. This one right here. Let me hide that right quick. This candle right here broke the zone.
Oh, okay.
Right? You see it broke. And let me get you back. So now that it broke it, if we don't get in on the break, we know we got the 50% to come back to. Here would have been your entry. You see that it pushed up. You let that happen. Drop your stop your buy your sell stop, and then you in for this whole move right here. And you would have only had to put your stop loss above this wick high right here. And your target could have been all the way down here where you would have got your 100 and something pips. Could have got you in early up here too off of this candle, right? This is your impulse candle right here. And another way you can tell which ones are your impulse candle is using volume, right? So you can see it on the chart, right? So let me zoom in. And notice these candles right here, right? None of these candles are near this high, right? Or near this rejection area. We can even bring it down, right? Just to clean it up a little bit, right? You see how all the volume is low. Is low, 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 is low. It starts to spike right here, right? It starts to spike right here. It starts to spike right here, right? So we know we near this high, right? And it's not breaking this high, right? So we could have, if we wanted to get an early entry, this would have been the candle to get it off of right here. An early entry right here. And this would have gave us that 50%. Drop down, push back up, our 50% would have came right here. We drop down to the lower time frame and go 15 minute. Once we see this happen, right? Once we see this happen, already on the 30-minute, we can come down even further and get more precise entries as well, right? Because now I got a candle I can go off of right here. I got another candle right here that I can go off of. And notice again, on each one of these candles, as these candles are created, the volume spiked right here and rejected, right here and rejected. Definitely spiked over here, right? Relative, right? So all the volume low. Let me scroll down a little bit so you can see this a little better. So volume is low, is low, is low, is low, is low, is low. Then once we start getting around these highs and it starts to reject, right? So there you could take a cautious approach and not enter in up here and wait for this candle right here to let you know a bank order just got put in right here. You can wait for this candle, right? Drop the 50% on this candle. Wait for that move, right? That never came back, right? It probably happened on the 5-minute, right? If you miss this move, right? You wait for this move, right? Drop down 15-minute, lines up with 30. And now it line up with the 30. Now you can get in off of this move right here with little drawdown and in for the whole move. This candle, impulse, right? Relative to before, right? Volume is relative. So it's relative to the time frame that you're trading on. So we go to US 30 right now and look at what's going on. Let's go to US 30. The volume is low, right?
Yeah.
We are not near a high. We're near this high, but nothing has signaled what direction, right? We did get this one little spike right here, right at 8 o'clock, but nothing really should change momentum, right? Or push momentum, right? We got these candles that rejected, 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 rejected. This candle pushed up, right? This candle pushed up, pushed up, pushed up. This candle with volume rejected, but it still pushed up, right? So no bank order has been put in yet. You'll know when the bank order gets put in because you'll see something like this. Is low, is low, is low, is high. Huge candle. And another, like you get a huge impulse candle or you get a huge wick like this one. So you want to look for candles like this wick right here, or you want to look for engulfing candles like this over here, like these two right here in particular. If you're looking for a sell, you're looking for a buy reversal, you're looking for these. If you're looking for impulse candle, for a buy, you want to see these strong impulse candles, right? Because this buy right here that happened over here reacted to this level right here. And then if you miss that, it gave you another one, impulse candle right here, because this was a old rejection area that it pushed up through, right? Right around here. This same candle pushed up through that right here. 50% of this candle on this was off of the 30-minute. This area right here. This was off of this 30-minute candle, gave you this entry, and it gave you this entry right here. This is why yesterday when, like, I don't know who was on the advanced session, when we were marking this up, everybody was thinking that it was going to immediately break these eyes. And I saw that it needed to come back down to pick this up first before it pushed up. And I got in over here and it pushed up and it dropped due to the news, but it still came all the way back down near this area, which I would have still probably missed because I would actually want to see the price dig into this line before I got into the trade.
Cory, let me ask you a question.
Yep.
I was on it last night and I know it was rejecting the 38. So how low did it actually dip? Did it go to the 50, 61 before it went back up?
Kim was measuring this whole move from this low to this high right here. So in this case, if you're using the fibs, it responded to the 50% on the fibs.
That confused me yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Because the fibs was upside down. When I was looking at it, I was like, it was, you know.
To keep, like, I noticed that all of them use their fibs upside down or stuff, and they use different levels from me.
Yeah.
But I kind of do standard issue. Like, this is standard issue. Like, the only extra thing I added is the 12.5. But every one of these numbers are standard issue numbers, right?
Yeah.
Straight out the box, you know.
Because I seen, because you're right. Every time I listen to somebody else, the numbers are different. It's upside down, and so yesterday that's when she pulled out the measure, the fibs.
Hold on, let me grab my charger.
Okay.
%.
Better
than the last time he was at 1%.
Oh, 5%.
You know, 5%.
Cory be on this thing all day.
Uh-huh.
You guys got to get on that advanced class.
Really?
It's a lot of good information, and sometimes, you know, we take some trades at the moment that pop off, but you just learn a lot. There's somebody in the mentorship right now. He's at $1.8 million.
What?
Yep. That's what we were talking about last night. $1.8 million right now.
Was he a trader before?
Yep.
He was a trader, but I mean, he flipped that, I think, starting with March, beginning of April.
Yeah. He leveled all the way up.
You have to have a lot of money to get that kind of, don't you have to have a lot of money in your account to do that?
I think he started with like what, 29,000, 30,000?
29.
He started with 29,000.
Yep. And 5 months later, he's at 1.8 million.
Yep.
Oh my God.
But yeah, Calvin, I just use standard issues. And like with my fibs, it don't matter what direction you go in. The 618, 50%, and the 38 are always gonna be the levels I use, right?
Yeah, the kill zone.
Yep. And if you looking at it upside down, the 38 will be on the top and the 618 will be on the bottom. That's the only thing that I just focus on this whole area right here versus focusing on the number, right? Because if I see rejection in this area, I know it's responding to this particular area versus looking at the levels inside of that area.
So that's what I was saying yesterday, right? Because I mean, she was asking us what do we see, and you know, I punched in the buy, and I saw that because of basically something you taught us, which was the kill zones, right?
Yep.
So Now, in the kill zone, how do you know how far it's going to go? Because when I was looking at it yesterday, it was rejecting off the 38. So me per se, as a trader, when it gets near those areas that in that kill zone, I don't wanna take a trade yet until I don't want to pop in the trade at that moment yet, because I saw it rejecting off the 38. But then again, from the looks of it, because she had it upside down, it looked like it went to the 50%.
It did right here,
Yeah,
but
it went
not
to the
last
50,
night.
which
Not
you
last night.
which yeah, it wouldn't have been bad, because even if I took the trade from the 38 where it was rejecting, and I would have been in a little bit of drawdown
Mm-hmm.
and still went my way anyway.
Yep. And like that's kind
I
of
have a
exactly what I
little
was gonna
trick.
say. Like you can't really know what exactly or what level is gonna respond to once it's in here.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta understand, like, all right, if I start seeing wicks and it's rejecting in that area, or I get candlestick patterns near one of these levels, then that's going to be where I look to take my trade.
Take the buy, yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh yeah,
then
look, yeah, you're right. The wicks right there. Uh-huh.
see this candle?
Yeah.
Right here. And so you saw that same strategy that I was showing y'all before, where I measured the impulse candle, right? I wouldn't have taken this one in particular, but because it's new, only because it was news, but here is my impulse candle in this zone reacting to the 50% right here. Right
Hey,
at the
Cory,
same level. What's up?
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sorry, so Calvin was asking a question, and I have kind of like I don't know, like a simple, easy cheat for that question when he was like,
Okay.
oh, how far do you know it's gonna go?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the truth is you don't know where it's gonna go, but I haven't. So I've been trading this way. I was trading this way before, and I didn't understand why I was winning. And then I saw Cory do it like I don't know, like a week and a half ago, and I was like, okay, let me revisit it. And I've been doing it, and I think in the last 5 days, like I've only taken my own trades, and I've gone 5 for 0. And
Trading
there's a
partner.
really so there's a really simple, easy way, and I call it, it's like my hugging method. So the candles, they
Here,
like to be
here,
hugged.
here.
Huh?
Let me give you the screen.
Hold
Yeah.
on, I gotta get my mouse. Hold on. Sorry, I'm like the
Get your
multitasking.
mouse.
I'm like the multitasking.
Yeah, get your mouse.
Don't give us
Can
these
y'all still see my?
nuggets,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was washing dishes, but hold on.
Don't talk about it.
because
Go ahead.
Oh, you know
I
what it
like.
is? You're on. I'm on my phone. Hold on. Let me get on for my laptop.
Okay.
Okay. Because I
Hold on.
not like I understand. I totally understand from looking at it last night when we was talking about it. I understand, like, okay, I know that's the kill zone, and I'm already setting up for the buy. So now in my mentality, because I don't know for sure if it's gonna go to the 50% or not. So my mentality is, okay, I'm gonna take this trade for a buy, but I know I'm gonna be in a little bit of drawdown. Obviously, if it goes to the 50 or drops down to the 38.
Yeah.
Right.
But look at this, Calvin. So you see, can you see my screen still?
Yeah, like I said.
You see what hang on. For some reason my screen
Oh, there's a password on this? Oh, hold on, I got it. Sorry.
my screen just froze.
Oh, not only that, like you said, yeah, that
That
big
50%
impulse candle, then you got the
candle. Yep.
double
Yep.
bottom right there.
Exactly. That's
Oh,
exactly
okay.
what I was about to show.
Yeah. I got you. Yeah, okay. I answered my own question, man.
Exactly what I was about to show you.
Yeah.
Because if you took it from the 38, guess what's right by the 38? An impulse candle.
Mm-hmm.
If you took it by the 50%, guess what's right there?
Yeah.
Right here.
And that's 50% of that.
50% of this candle is sitting right here. You would have got the entry right off of the following candle, right? And like I said, this wouldn't have been one I would have taken, only because it's news related. But
yeah,
over here, where I got in last night, impulse.
Yes, is it ready?
Hold on. My screen kind of froze up right now.
No, we see it. You see,
Okay,
see your
let's do
mouse
curry
moving.
chicken.
Shoot.
Just give me another order of mac and cheese.
Crystal
Yes.
up there about the grub, ain't she?
Okay. How long do you think?
Yeah, we ain't cooked tonight.
Okay.
We
Thank
both
you.
glued in front of the computer right now.
Okay.
Okay, I'm on again.
Okay. Let me show this one thing, but my computer kind of running slow right now. I think I got too much open. And because I'm streaming this, I think it might be going.
And it's only at 3%.
It's on the charger now.
Oh.
All right.
Yes, yeah.
This tape be making me laugh, man.
She do.
Yeah. And she called you Calvin earlier. So.
I did. I know. Just like she's somebody. Of course, she's somebody grandma. You know what you got to call is every name of the whole.
That is so true. That
Every
is so
sibling
true.
name got to get called first.
So Calvin, you gonna take it? I'm like, huh?
Every sibling name got to get called first.
That's true.
So I already know. I didn't. I just talked on over it. I knew.
I was going up and down. I didn't say that. I was going up and down. I didn't say that.
Yep. All right. So I don't know what's going on.
Hey, Cory. Cory.
Yeah.
Do you ever use the EMAs like Mike Hill?
I used to, but I mean, for me, I don't need them anymore. Like I can see exactly what he's seeing without seeing the EMAs just by looking at the candlesticks. So I just don't use them anymore. My bad. I wasn't expecting this to freeze up like this, but might have to close something. I might have to stop this stream or something. Cause this jank is going slow.
That's how I be when you out the country.
Right.
I forgot. Yeah, you are in what, DR, right?
Blast. Yep. Put me on blast, huh?
Shanika, what EMA you use? The 8 and the 18. I see a different.
18.
Man, there's so many different numbers with EMAs, man.
Yeah.
50, 8, 20, 100, 500.
Sheesh.
But Mike's strategy is simple. It's very simple. Very, very simple.
Try this one last time, and I'm gonna Topaz. Let's jump over to you, and then I'll come back to this. So you should be able to share. Let me double check. You should be able to share.
I think I'm sharing. Can somebody confirm?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, let me explain that I don't trade anything else except US 30. So I have not tested this on anything else, but it does work for US 30. And the way I trade is a little bit different. So I do price trap, but I only trade the breakouts of 4-hour structure. So I don't care if there's 1-hour structure or a 15-minute structure. And I only trade the breakout of 4-minute structure. Because I like quick trades, and when I trade the breakout of 4-hour or up, so 4-hour or a daily or a weekly structure, there's a lot of momentum in those moves, and I'm normally in and out of a trade within 30 minutes, and that's what I like. And so what I do, like for example, when I was talking to you about the hugging strategy, so I'm gonna show you example, like this was yesterday. So yesterday, we had this institutional move, like this railroad, as you would call it, the down to up. And this is an impulse move, right? So I know that price wants to buy after I see this move, but I also know price needs to kind of fill in that 50%. Now, you can draw your fib on this candle. Like Cory was showing, you could do body to body or wick to wick or what have you. And you can see this little blue dot.
Yeah.
This is what I do. So I'll go and I'll put array and I'll go boom. This was probably lower yesterday. So it was here. And then I'll say, okay, this is my 50. And normally I'll put it like a little bit higher just so I don't miss it, just in case it doesn't go that far. And then I'll actually set an alert on the ray and I'll put like right here, it says 50% watch for rejection for the buy. And then when that alert comes, I'll actually wait to see a 15-minute candle reject towards the upside for the trade. Now, to kind of answer your question, because you were saying, oh, well, how do you know, how far it's gonna go?
In the kill zone, yeah.
Right, so on a move like this, it's a little bit more difficult because I'm gonna explain my hug theory doesn't work on like a railroad, like this kind of institutional move, it doesn't work on it. And the reason for that is because when you see these institutional moves like this, you're typically at a low and price is not coming back down here and price hasn't been over here on the left, right? Same thing if it was at the top, like if you had a big one over here, price it's probably going to be at a high and price probably didn't do anything towards the left. But if you're not in here, okay, and you're somewhere like where I am right now, what I'm looking for is, these are all 4-hour candles. So you can see this was the last 4-hour candle of the session and it was an impulse move, right? The reason I'm not looking for price to go back down is because you could say this. You could say, oh, this is the 50%, which would be here, right? But I'm not looking for that because what I've learned is that price likes to hug. I call it the hug. So for me, the body is somebody's body and the wicks are the other person's arms. And so what I've noticed a lot is it might come to the 50, but a lot of times it will just hug. And so this is an arm and this is an arm. And so I put, if I see that, like if I see like a crazy high wick for the candle before it, I put my ray right above it, set an alert. And if I get rejection off this to the upside, I'm buying. Like I'm not waiting for this move.
For the 50, okay.
No, because this move 9 times out of 10 is strong enough. Now I'm not just, if it just starts to wick up, I'm not getting in it. No, I'm actually waiting for a confirmation candle. So like if we did something like this, let's just see, because this was my buy break. Now I only buy breaks. And so this works off my structures. This was a break. This is where I expect price to come down and hug. See, some people, they might be waiting for an actual retest all the way down here. I didn't need to wait for that because I'm expecting price to come somewhere here. And then
you call it a hug, I call it kissing.
It's a little kiss, it's a hug. So as you can see, what happened was here, right? Here you got this break. Yeah, you got this move. But if you didn't get this move, price came back here again and pushed up. Now that's on the hour, but let's go down lower. And you can see you had this one, then you could have waited. You could have gotten on this one, right? Or if you wanted to be super, super sure, you could have gotten on this one, or you could have went down to the 5. Same thing. right? You could have gotten anywhere here. You could have got back in on here. Like it, it gives you a lot of like opportunities. But you don't always have to look for the 50 because sometimes it's not going to come to the 50. So right now, what I'm looking at, this is my next buy area based off 4-hour structure. This buy, I actually took it only to TP1. I took it around 3 o'clock real quick, and I didn't wait for any of this. So I didn't catch the rest of this, this move. I was going to, but I was like, no, I'll just wait. So I'm waiting on the structure from this, but based off my 4-hour candle, I'm not expecting price to come back down because we've already done this hug. So now if we know this candle's about to end at 9, so if this 4-hour candle closes above here, instead of me being like, oh, it just broke and jump in, no, because I'm probably going to go into drawdown. So I'm going to set an alert here, and I'm going to wait for it to go off for price to tell me. I can do 2 things. I could do the 50% off here, right? Because 50% might be closer, like somewhere in here. And then I'll also do one here. And when 50% goes off, then I'll watch it. And I'll kind of see like, is it still pushing down, right? Did I get that 15-minute bullish candle, or no, is it still coming down? Because it might come all the way down here.
And you're going to that last area, obviously, because of the wick on the last candle.
Exactly. So you were saying like, how do I know it's only going to go 50%? What if it goes deeper and then I'm in drawdown? Well, you know the potential for it to go lower based off where the last wick
was. Okay.
So if you say, oh, like let's say this candle closes up here and 50% is somewhere in here, and you don't get like that nice solid, you know, bullish 15-minute rejection, I personally would wait for it to drop closer to this wick, wait for that rejection up, and then I would take it.
Then take it.
Yeah.
So better sniper entry then, yeah.
And then for me, even like I'm so picky right now, because I've been doing my FTMO challenge, and with the FTMO challenge, drawdown counts against you, and this is why I had to find a new way of trading. And so I'm so picky that sometimes I still won't even, you could enter off this sniper, but I'll even wait for it to come back here and be like, okay, I'm good. Because at that point, I already know I've got my,
going back up.
And I'm comfortable because I'm not trying to maximize my pips. I've already thought, okay, I'm gonna have, you know, my 50 to 100 pips, and I'm comfortable with it because it's less risk for me, if that makes sense.
So now with US 30, you only trading the breaks on the 4 hours. That's it now?
That's it. Yeah.
So once it breaks on the 4 hour, what time frame you dropping on, the 15 or the 5?
Yep.
15?
Yeah. And for me, just based off my lifestyle, I do not trade New York. I do not trade the New York London layover. So if I'm gonna trade New York, it's only gonna be in the afternoon, that 2, 3, 4 o'clock. And my preferred time is London. And that's it.
Your preferred time of trading US 30s during London?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, smooth. Yeah.
Because I'm not, you know, you can get into if you're paying attention to those wicks and you're making sure that price is doing what it needs to do before you jump in it, you can really guarantee like you're getting in the trade at the time where it's not going to continue to draw down. You can just get in your positions and you can let it run. But I've been really just going to like TP2 and taking my bag and just dipping.
Yeah, of course. You got consistency with that too.
Yeah, it's consistent, you know, it works. And then once I build my account to a certain point, I plan on dropping like a smaller third contract, and my smaller third contract, I'll just let it run. But for right now, I take my first contract out at T1, I take my second contract out at T2, and then that's it, it's done. I don't care about anything else. I close the computer.
That's discipline, ladies and gentlemen.
Sheesh. I feel like I be listening to myself when you be on here.
Yeah, I've been really quiet because I've just been really like super in the lab right now. with my mindset and just like the discipline is at an all-time high for me. But when you were talking about that, I was like, let me tell Calvin how I.
That's funny. You bring that up because I was literally so this guy that Thomas, one of Thomas prospects, right? So I literally was on the phone with him for an hour today. So this guy, what he went and did, because okay, Thomas trading. He went and ordered books on trading and literally spent the entire weekend, Saturday and Sunday, reading up on trading. Everything down from the mindset to everything, right? The guy hasn't signed up yet. Oh, matter of fact, Thomas, oh, I forgot. He just texted me to sign up. I forgot. My apologies. So he called me today and asked me like a ton of questions. And I that's one of the things I was actually telling him. I'm like, listen, you could be the best whatever you want in this market. But if your mindset and discipline and all the other stuff is not right, you know, you could have the best strategy in the world. It's worthless.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know who needs to hear it. I don't mind using like my own experiences for somebody else's gain. But for example, so the first week of this month, I traded very well. I don't remember what I think that week I won all my trades, and I only trade one time per session. So that's it. Like once I'm done, I'm done. And the second week of this month was like a very stressful, emotional roller coaster like time in my life. Like everything was out of the ordinary. And I wanted to keep working. And so I was pushing myself, but I was losing. Like every trade I would take, I would lose. And even though I was still going over my 4 hour, I was doing my plan, but I was still losing. And then I would jump on New York sessions and I would try to take, the trades with Kim and Lano, and I would lose those too. And I'm like, this is crazy. So I think the first week this month, I made $2,000. The second week this month, I lost $8,000. And as of today, I'm up $6,000. So it's just to tell people that like your mindset is really, really, really important in this game. And like no matter what you're going through, if you feel stressed, if you have anxiety, if you feel depressed, if something's going on, somebody passed, you fighting with your boyfriend, whatever's going on in your life, don't feel bad about taking a pause, because see, if I didn't trade all that second week, I'd be up 10K, but I put myself in the negative just off mentality. So when you're not right, stay off.
So let me ask you, okay, you say you wasn't right. So what did you do? What did you do as a trader to get out that slump to, get back on track?
So I have something on my whiteboard that Kim taught like a couple, I want to say maybe like 2 months ago. And it's about kind of how to deal with that, right? And there's 3 things that she talks about. And it's, accepting reality. So when we're going through stuff in life, sometimes stuff is really hard to deal with, but you have to take whatever is happening in your life for what it is. Like that is your reality at the moment. And you don't have to agree with what's going on, but you just have to accept it. Like, this is what it is. I can't change this, and that's it. Right. And just, you have to move a little bit past that, like stop sitting and dwelling on the things that you can't change. Right. The other part is, behave productively. So even when things are going bad, still be productive. I was doing that, but I shouldn't have been on my broker. That was the only problem. But continuing to be productive, sometimes when we get in a slump, we stop looking at the charts completely, or we stop doing anything. And then, we're not working towards the goal. And then the other thing, hold on, I have a baby crying. Give me 1 second.
That's funny she mentioned that, man, because I was literally having conversations about that. A lot of people like to dwell
on, I mean, you know, everybody in life, you know, wants a good day every day. You know, that's what we expect. And you know, when something bad happens to you, some people, you know, there's some people that take it extremely hard and continue to dwell on it. But my mindset is I can't put all my energy on focusing on the bad. It's just literally like, okay, this happened. I have no control over it. So now I want to put my energy and focus on getting out of that situation or making it a better situation.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the last thing in that 3-step process is control your upsetting thoughts. And so we all know what makes us upset. Like we think about it and it throws us off and we feel terrible. And so you have to find like, I don't know, something that you can meditate. You know, if you're spiritual, you know, maybe it's worship, maybe it's certain music, maybe it's certain songs, you know, maybe it's certain podcasts. Like one of my favorites, I listen to Motiversity on YouTube, and like find what pumps you up, right? And find what you can use to channel that negative energy and turn it back into positive energy. Only you know what that is. But once you have that, that's just kind of what you got to do. And then if you have a place or, you know, like a home or the beach or I don't know, whatever brings you serenity and calm, like go there and just get grounded. And I don't know, sometimes it takes a couple of days. Sometimes it only takes a day to like, you know, reset yourself. For me, I just needed to be back in my environment. I wasn't home. I was thrown off. I got back in my house and started listening to my worship, and I was good. And that sound right there.
It's funny you say that too, Topaz, because you know, I honestly, you know, I know the team probably knows
Sound like a
man.
robot, Cory.
I've been myself. Hang on. Can you guys hear me?
Good now. Yeah.
But you know, I noticed, I know you guys probably noticed it too. Like some people even messaged me about it and were just kind of like, man, you good, you good, you know, like with I had my issues losing my grandmother, you know. My grandmother raised me, you know what I mean? And she raised my whole family, and she was like the last person for me that I had left, you know what I mean? I don't know my dad, and you know, I didn't meet him until I was like 31, 32, right? So he don't really, I don't really know him. I had one of my sisters, my granddad, both my all of my grandparents and parents are gone pretty much. So that joint, like, I've been able to give you guys what you need, you know, because put in yours, you know, put in the fact that somebody
Your audio is bad, bro.
at the same
Your
time.
audio is bad.
Dang. I can't even do nothing about it. Can't even fix this one. But you know, if you guys can hear me, let me stop this stream. Maybe